So for quite some time, there's been a discussion in the fish keeping world about whether we clean our sponges with tap water, right, which has chlorine, ammonia, who knows what else, right? Or do we use tank water in an effort to preserve beneficial bacteria? What do you do? Do you rinse sponges in tank water, or do you rinse them in tap water? For a long time, I did all of my rinsing in tank water because I really felt that if I used water from the tap, I would be destroying beneficial bacteria and risking a spike, an ammonia spike, what I sometimes refer to as sort of a mini cycle. You sort of recycle, the tank starts to cycle again because you kill off bacteria, and now the bacteria has to catch up, has to populate again, and in the meantime you get ammonia and nitrite, which is very hard and often can be fatal on the fish. I decided while I was at Aquashella in Daytona, Florida, to go ahead and pick the brain of somebody I respect. And you can see here what I do. This is me rinsing the sponges off of my larger tanks, the sponge off of the pre-filter off of the FX6 that's on the back of this 300-gallon African cichlid tank. And you can also see me rinsing the pre-filter sponge on the Sun 704B that I run underneath the 210 South American tank, South and Central American tank to be more precise. There's also an expert matic that I have on my Red Tear tank, and you can see me here doing a clean out on that as well. All of those are done in tap water and then immediately put right back onto the tank. And I do it fearlessly, and I do it for the reasons that our friend Jason Adams from Primetime Aquatics, check him out on Primetime Aquatics, for the reasons that he states here. The rumor on the street is you're a marine biologist?
Aquaculture and fish health. So
Aquaculture and fish health.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got that straight.
Yeah.
And the one thing that comes up a lot on my channel is Jason says I can rinse my sponges with tap water. Can you comment on that once and for let's go ahead and put this to rest.
Okay. Well, yeah. So the answer is yes. You can rinse. We do it every single week. So keep in mind scale. We've got 80 aquariums, each with multiple sponge filters. We pull them all out at the same time in the tap water, chlorinated tap water. They go. Squeeze them out back in the tank. Now the key there when you're rinsing sponge filters in tap water, it's about contact time. That's one of the things we talk about in my microbiology courses is the chemicals that you're using for disinfection, they have to have so much exposure to the microbes, right? So your beneficial bacteria. Usually it takes around an hour to kill 90% of your beneficial microbes at the standard concentrations of chloramine in your tap water. So it takes a whole hour. So if you're only taking your sponge filter, you're going into your tap water, you squeeze for 15, 20, 30 seconds, and back in the freshwater tank it goes, you're not really losing that much. And so we have found we can do this every single week, every single filter, whether it's hang-on bag, sponge filter, never, ever, ever, ever had an issue. Not once.
A couple squeezes and you're safe. Just don't let it sit in that chlorinated water overnight. You'll be in trouble.
Okay.
But thank you so much. I mean, so many folks do they do so much extra work in the hobby that isn't necessary.
Sometimes they do. That is true.
And I think that's awesome. Yeah. One of my favorite people on YouTube, folks, watch his channel, Primetime Aquatics, and his wonderful wife. Great show, real people. There you go.
Well, thank you.
So there you have it. I think that's pretty definitive. I trust him. He knows his stuff. He's been doing it for many, many years. So don't have really any fear. Unless you're letting that sponge sit in chlorinated water overnight, you're probably going to be okay to go ahead and give it a quick rinse and put it right back on. Truth is that a lot of beneficial bacteria is living on your decor, on your rocks, and your substrate. When you look at a pre-filter on a tank like this, it's a very small amount of real estate compared to everything else that's going on. Certainly the Expert Matic is a larger, proportionate-wise, a larger amount of real estate compared to that 55-gallon. But even there, I'm not that worried because that that tank is mature, has been around a long time, has a lot of good stuff growing in the substrate, despite the constant redecorating by that red tear. So I hope that makes cleaning your tanks a little bit calmer for you. It certainly does for me. It certainly makes it easier, because there's sometimes you don't want to do a water change. You just want to do maybe clean up a couple sponges. And if you have to pull out a bunch of tank water to do the cleaning, then you're automatically going to be into some type of a water change or a top off. So there you go. Like in the case of this tank, I can rinse out pre-filters and then do a water change the following week. You just alternate those, and it really has very minimal, if any, impact on the aquarium. All right, thank you for tuning in, my friends. Be sure to hit that bell, that notification bell, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you on Saturday for our live stream, where we get into filters and fish keepers and everything else. And that's it for me. Thank you. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.